The movie I chose to watch for the movie review was Stand and Deliver, and this movie was about a high school teacher named Jaime Escalante, or Mr. Chemo, and he gets hired at a high school with a population that is mostly Chicano and Latino, and also you could tell that the economic status of most of the students was low. The high school was in East LA, and East LA has a notoriety for being for having a low socioeconomic population. Um, in the movie, he gets hired at the high school, and initially he was supposed to teach computers, but he ended up teaching math instead. So he walks into the classroom. A lot of the students were unwilling and apprehensive to do the math at first because the climate for the school has always been like a one where they did not push their students, so the students were used to not doing anything and getting away with it. But Mr. Chemo comes in, he's like, that's not gonna fly with me, basically, and he really holds his students to high expectations and expects them to do more than anybody else ever has. And in the movie, you could tell the administration at the school is like, why are you pushing them? Like, these students aren't capable of doing what you're expecting them to. And Mr. Chemo challenges them, and he says you can push them if you push them and you hold them to high expectations, they'll go up to that bar and they'll do what you want them to. And so basically the administration didn't think he could do it. Well, he starts really like relating to them and pushing them and holding them to the high expectations that no one ever has or thought they were capable of, and he does this, and they're receptive of it. They start learning the math. They're getting like 100% on quizzes, and he has them go to summer school so they could get college credit. And so they take this accreditation test, and previously at the high school nobody has ever passed the accreditation test. And at the end of the movie, they pass the test, but then race comes into it, and they assume that they must have cheated because of their race, and they're in East LA, and so Mr. Chemo and his students retake the test. He didn't retake the test, but he convinced his students to retake the test. They retake the test, and they all pass again, and it just was a good movie to show that if you hold students to high expectations, they'll meet them, but you have to push them and you have to hold them accountable. So I'm glad I watched it, and it was really inspiring, and I really enjoyed this assignment.